week, I decided to wear a different clothing aesthetic to my college campus. Last week I did a video talking about fall 2022 trends and kind of breaking down different aesthetics, different like pieces that were coming in. Since I was kind of inspired by what I was talking about last week, I kind of wanted to try some of those aesthetics out and wear them to my college campus every day this week. Now, I don't know if by doing this challenge I will suddenly magically have a better sense of style or maybe even adapt to one of these aesthetics. However, I definitely think it will get me out of my comfort zone and also give me kind of an excuse to dress up. But otherwise, I'll show you kind of the process of how I chose the aesthetics that I wanted and kind of get right into it. So first, I took a look at what I had on my Pinterest boards. Pinterest is kind of where I go to first to get any of my clothing inspiration. I noticed that there were a few aesthetics that kept cropping up. A few of them were the dark academia look, preppy look, cottagecore, coquette, and Pilates princess. And so what I tried to do next is try to choose which day of the week that I wanted to dress up as and started to look into my closet to kind of pull together and see what I could do for this week. So when choosing the first aesthetic, I chose to stick with one of the aesthetics that I've seen trending on TikTok, which is dark academia. I felt like Monday fit dark academia perfectly because I needed to start the week off with an aesthetic that loves school, and I know for certain I need more motivation to go to classes after the weekend. So when researching further, another magazine called Birdie says some of the colors that make up dark academia are dark browns, blacks, greens, navy, and tan, kind of like darker colors, because I feel like with dark academia, like when I looked on Pinterest, it's just like kind of what it sounds like. It's just very dark. You got like, you kind of have almost like this old English feel to it. It's like you're sitting in the library with a candle. I don't know, like something dark. I don't know, something dark academia. Literally like exactly what I said. Also some patterns that kind of make up this aesthetic are houndstooth, plaid, definitely like if there's a lot of tweed and cardigans, I feel like those are really, really big. I also felt like collars are huge, button-ups, anything really crisp and clean, very professional sort of looking. Some great staples that make this up are sweaters, vests, loafers, trousers, trench coats, knee socks, like pretty much anything like that. I tried to look through my closet for some pieces that could match. I wanted to keep with the turtleneck trend, and I found this like black turtleneck that was kind of cropped, and I paired it with a patterned mini skirt. And I also found this trench coat that I thrifted a few years back just to wear over it, and I feel like once I put the trench coat on, it kind of just like elevated the whole look. And yeah, I kind of really liked it. For my shoes, I tried to keep with the preppiest shoe I've had. I really feel like I just wear loafers all the time anyway. I tried to pair it with some gray socks, which also matched like the gray colors of my skirt. It was actually so cold this week and I was starting to freeze a bit in the outfit that I just like hurried super quick to class. I got like a cup of tea as well, and I chose to work in the library to take this lecture that switched online for me, and it felt very dark academia-esque. Like I did this all very unintentionally, mind you, but I somehow ended up at the library, which is very what a dark academia character would do, I feel like, you know? It was kind of like a fun excursion, and there's some fun books to like explore, and I definitely felt very like in character, I guess. So Tuesday I chose to go preppy because I feel like it's sort of professional, cute, and we want to ride on the momentum from Monday to make it through the beginning of the week. When I think of like a person that really embodies the preppy aesthetic, I think of like Blair Waldorf from Gossip Girl. I feel like she's such a great example. So I researched what are some pieces that made up this aesthetic, and Nylon magazine suggests that some brands that embody this feeling the best is Brooks Brothers, Ralph Lauren, J. Crew, Tommy Hilfiger. The whole look of fits should be crisp and clean. They should kind of fall in line with like old Americana, classic, and like some staples that you should also have are pleated skirts, khakis, polo shirts, collars, maybe some sporty tennis and golf clothing pieces as well. So for this look, I just borrowed my mom's Ralph Lauren pink polo shirt since I felt this was the preppiest thing I could find, and I paired it with a white tennis skirt to continue the tennis sporty vibe, you know? So for jewelry, I think that for the preppy aesthetic, nothing should be too showy or obvious, so I stuck with jewelry that was more simplistic. I chose to also wear pearls since I always thought pearls were classy. And I also think for hair accessories, headbands would probably be your #1 option. Again, I'm just going off Blair Waldorf, so I just kept it with Blair, and Blair is always seen with a headband, so naturally I had to wear one. And I think some good shoes that follow the preppy aesthetic is Mary Jane's, heels, white shoes, tall boots, maybe some boat shoes, but I chose to wear loafers since I think they went well with the outfit anyway, and it kept with that very preppy feeling still. I went off to my classes after I only got footage from my second class of the day since the first class was a very serious lecture. I ended up just kind of filming the end of the meeting, and here are a few of my friends that are working on a group project with me. Then I headed off to my next class where I tried to concentrate. I'm learning coding currently, and sometimes the professor can be very confusing to understand. However, I did feel like wearing preppy clothes actually kind of helped me to pay attention more. I don't know why, like maybe showing up in business clothes makes you feel like more professional, I don't know. Wednesday I chose Cottage core. When I woke up on Wednesday, I realized that it was so cold out, and I also woke up with a sore throat because I think the last 2 days I was not dressed properly for this cold weather at all, so I definitely caught something. And so I didn't wear the outfit that I had planned to class. I was bummed out about it, but I was worried that like I would get more sick, so I just decided to wear the outfit for the footage to show you guys, and then just like kind of switch into something warmer for my class. But to break down Cottage core a little bit, it's known as country core or farm core. Blue magazine describes it being an aesthetic inspired by romanticized rural and farm lifestyle interpretations. So you should think like flowy, light, colored dresses, straw hats, overalls, lots of flowers, maybe even a homey feeling similar to something you'd find in like a Studio Ghibli movie. So I feel like Cottage core is a great aesthetic for warmer seasons and not for cold fall weather, which is what we're in right now. But I still found something similar to the aesthetic in my closet. Greens are like a very colorful staple for the aesthetic according to some of the videos that I watched. So I used this flowy green skirt that I found. Like if I start twirling, it like comes out a little bit, it billows, and it's like really cute. And I made sure to find a white corset, which I found kind of gives off like those old romantic vibes. And I made sure to pair it with white small heels, which I felt looked good with the outfit overall. Since there's such a focus on nature with Cottage core, I think any jewelry, like even small crystals or butterflies, like the ones that I showed here, would work great. And this is a ring that my friend's sister made that has a rose quartz in it. I chose daintier jewelry, and I think for hair accessories, stuff that would look super cute is like a hair kerchief, you know, like, or even some small clips. After wearing this fit, I had to hurry to meet my friend for lunch, and I was actually a little bit late. I felt like the whole day was rushed. So I grabbed some tea and I switched into something a little bit warmer, and then ended up going to the library to study some more. Unfortunately, maybe dark academia would have been better, as I definitely needed the academic motivation to finish my essay, which I tried to start in the library on Monday, but have like been procrastinating the whole week, and I ended up having to finish it back at my apartment. I chose Coquette for Thursday because it's associated with a lot of flirtation and fun, and Thursday is kind of a fun day since it's getting close to Friday. I think Coquette is one of my favorite new aesthetics, and I definitely want to try to make like a lookbook for that soon. I wanted to do some research first, so the definition I found online says that coquette means a flirtatious woman. Aesthetic is described as embodying all things idyllic, feminine, and dainty. I think I associate the coquette look with frills, high socks, maybe some like hand gloves or like kick gloves, mini skirts, and of course ribbons. Pretty much anything that's just stereotypically girly in a sense. One thing that I found very interesting is when I looked up Coquette on Pinterest, I found that there was a lot of like strong Lana Del Rey, Marina and the Diamonds kind of influences with the Coquette aesthetic, which I found interesting as well. For building my outfits, I used online inspiration from Pinterest and TikTok because that's kind of where like I first started seeing the look. So I decided to stick with some sheer tights this time because I learned my lesson and I did not want to be sick again, so I wore those tights to class because it was so cold. And it was also downpouring outside and it was like torrential raining, so I needed to stay warm. And I chose a white tank top that felt very frilly and very feminine still, and paired it with a white cropped cardigan, which I felt really embodied the look, and made sure to wear a small black baguette purse that kind of matched some parts of the outfit. For makeup, the Coquette look is kept very soft and natural with nothing overly done, so a smoky eye would probably be not what you want for this look, but makeup should seem barely there, but also very sweet and girly, so I chose to just stick with a pale shade of eyeshadow, a little bit of mascara, and of course some lip gloss. For hair accessories, I think that headbands, and more headbands, you know, in all sorts of colors would be so cute. But I wanted to try the ribbon look that I kept seeing on my Pinterest feed. So I bought 2 types of ribbons from Michaels and cut them into smaller pieces to tie them into my hair. I tried 2 different hairstyles with the ribbons that I saw from a YouTube tutorial from this lovely new creator that I found named Romney Ellens. Her video is so spectacular, by the way. She always like breaks down fashion trends, but I really liked some of the hairstyles that I tried. The first one I tried to just like braid it and put little ribbons at the ends, and then the other look was like a half up, half down with a big ribbon, but it didn't really turn out how I wanted it to because I think I didn't tie the ribbon right, which is so simple. I'm 21 years old, I should know how to do that. How do I do this? Okay. That I ended up fixing it with a smaller ribbon and headed off to class because I was gonna be late. It was raining so hard, there was like a torrential rainstorm going on. This was quite literally the worst weather that I could have chosen to do this. It is pouring out right now. It is absolutely pouring. I have no words. You know what, I need to toughen up though. It's just a little rain, but like, I hate this. Classes this semester are honestly not that fun, but my friends in all of my classes are so sweet and funny, so it makes it like 10 times better. For Friday, I chose to go with the comfy, girly Pilates princess aesthetic that's been becoming more and more popular on my Pinterest and TikTok feeds. In my last video where I talked about fall trends, I was mentioning how Frankie's Bikinis had just dropped a Pilates line and how the whole comfy, girly, effortlessly, like I just came back from the gym and I'm gonna get a smoothie look is kind of becoming more popularized. And I thought it would work best with Friday since by the end of the long week, you want nothing more than to wear comfy clothes and relax, or maybe take a short trip to the gym, who knows? I've seen so many Pilates princess TikToks on my feed, and they mainly consist of leggings, layering camis or undershirts, sports bras or matching sets, light colored boleros, shrugs, leg warmers or leotards, and maybe some arm warmers. I really love this look. I have been wanting to try it for a while. I thought it might be a fun excuse to start the leg warmers trend that I mentioned in my last video. And I really wanted to get arm warmers as well, but I like can't find good ones. So I really need to find that. But for now, I stuck with my leg warmers. I ordered it off Amazon. Unfortunately, because the leg warmers, like they shipped to the wrong address, I missed being able to dress up to school on Friday in my Pilates princess look, and I had to kind of cheat by doing this look instead on Saturday. Trying to keep in line with the look, I tried to like brainstorm what a girl would do, like what would a Pilates princess character do. Obviously she'd probably go to Pilates. However, I am broke and the Pilates classes near my apartment are kind of expensive. So I decided to just take a small walk and kind of move my body a little bit. I drank a smoothie. I tried to make a cute little fun mango banana smoothie. Honestly, ever since I bought this blender, I've just been making smoothies like every single day. And I don't know if it's very healthy, but it's a great excuse to use up all the fruits in my fridge and it's so tasty. A lot. I think for Pilates Princess, obviously for shoes, you should just stick with sneakers. I mean, I don't know. Oh, actually, I feel like also another good shoe to wear would be like a ballet flat, since like the ballet core is kind of similar to Pilates Princess. You know, like ballet flats are kind of coming in. Those like tabbies are kind of coming in. I don't know what those are, by the way, but I need to like look them up. But I've seen them on Matilda Jerv. She's worn the tabbies a few times, but I feel like I see that a lot. And if you wear that with like a high sock, it's very like ballet-esque in a sense. So yeah, that was pretty much the entire video. I really kind of enjoyed challenging myself and pushing myself out of my normal comfort zone by trying all these new aesthetics. I think initially when I started this trend, I was a little bit nervous to like go all out, especially with the trench coat. Oh my God. Showing up to my lecture in that, I was like, ah! I was like terribly overdressed, but it ended up being really fun, and I actually got so many compliments, and I realized that like you really shouldn't care what people think about what you wear because life's too short. Overall, had a really fun time. So thank you for watching this video, and if you like, definitely leave a like and subscribe.